Okay, we're streaming now.
Okay.
Ooh. Well, hello everyone. Before we begin, I hope you're having a really good day so far.
There we go. Now we're live.
Give me the link, YouTube.
Link should show up anytime.
There we go. I think I got it.
Is the link working?
It's working.
Yep.
I actually just posted it in our little discussion. So
All right, and I'm also gonna pull it up. Famiboards.
no, I'm really curious to hear your folks' choice for game of the year because honestly, I've been trying to think through this before we did the podcast.
Yeah.
My number 2 and number 1, I'm very torn on which ones. I'm very torn. I feel like one person's choice here I already know, and it's going to be a very easy one.
Okay.
But we'll see.
All right. So I think we're all posted everywhere. So I think we can go ahead and jump in. So
All right.
welcome everybody. Welcome back to.
Wait, we should.
Welcome back to the Famiboards.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Wait. We should count down first, and
Yeah.
then...
What's up?
Okay. 3, 2,
Oh,
1,
okay.
go.
Go. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Famiboards Discussion Club, a podcast by and for the Famiboards community. I'm WestEgg, and I'm once again joined by Irene
Hello.
and VolcanicDynamo.
New Year smell.
New Year's. It's not a great smell so far, but
Yeah, that's true.
anyway. But yeah, we're here to talk about our 2025 Game of the Year picks, and we're doing it properly in January after 2025 is concluded. I think
Exactly.
everyone can appreciate that.
I can certainly appreciate it.
And we'll also be looking at 2026 ahead, just giving some predictions on that. So just to kind of get started, what y'all been playing lately?
I think it's to mention this one because this one isn't going to be one of my games of the year, but I will get to talking about it a little bit later. I basically spent the last couple of last week or two
Uh-huh.
of 2025 was blazing through the main story of Pokemon Legends EA.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And I'll definitely have more to say about that a little bit later.
Okay. Awesome. Anything interesting on your list, Irene? Or recent
Okay.
played?
There's always a bit of a dilemma with this question on the podcast because it's like I'm shuffling through a lot of different games right now, so it's more like which game do I want to highlight on the podcast, and that's also hard for me because some of my games that I have played is also games I will obviously talk about later during the episode, but just to throw something out that I have been dabbing a little bit in here and there is I have been finally finishing up Metaphor ReFantasio, which is...
you didn't finish it?
No, I played it halfway and then it got lagged behind on the backlog. So I was in a backlog cleaning mood, as you are on a Saturday. You're I have nothing to do, better finish up the backlog. So I finished up Metaphor ReFantasio, and it was amazing. State of the art RPG.
Yeah.
Holy shit, it was so good.
Yeah, Metaphor
Look.
if there with Emio the Smiling Man for my 2024 Game of the Year. They were both fantastic.
Yeah, I think what I loved so much about it is that, first of all, I have to
Look,
commend
sometimes it just happens where you don't finish a game. So, look, you're talking to the girl
Yeah,
still
exactly.
hasn't finished The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom yet.
Sometimes it takes a while to finish a game, man. The Legend of Zelda. Mine is I'm finally playing through Echoes of Wisdom. It just didn't grab me initially, and I'm now giving it a chance, and I'm I'd say 60% of the way through. I'm in the middle of the Deku dungeon.
Good time to
Oh,
do it with the Switch.
I'm
with
enjoying
the
it.
Switch
It's
2 pad.
the
Yeah.
I do not like the Deku in this game. They're all
Oh, do you think so?
jerks.
All right. Yeah, but
But yeah, I'm enjoying the game so far.
yeah, I was actually a little bit lukewarm on it at first because
Okay.
I thought that
Sorry, were you talking?
yeah, I'm talking. Hello. Hello.
You're coming in just a little bit spotty, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm coming in a little bit.
At
Spotty,
least on our end.
sorry about that. Yeah, but yeah, I understand what you mean because I was a little bit lukewarm on Echoes of Wisdom.
You sound fine now, yeah.
I'm so fine now. Cool. Because I think the issue with the ecosystem is that I know people meme on about it for Tears of the Kingdom. It's like, oh, once you learn how to use the hoverbike, you use it everywhere, you know, and that is like true. And I do have opinions about the hoverbike in Tears of the Kingdom, but that's a little bit off topic as of now. But in Echoes of Wisdom, I think the issue was that it was that kind of issue where once you had found the best echoes, you relied on them for like every single puzzle. Like for me, it was always either it was always either stacking up water blocks very very high, or stacking up beds very very far, and that felt like the solution for like 90% of all the puzzles, which made the puzzle solving feel a little bit like redundant after a while. That was my takeaway.
I mean, one of the fun things for me is brute forcing a bed solution when there's like other ways that are better to do it.
It's always the beds. Always the beds.
But I kind of agree that like I think in the spectrum of video games, it's a good video game. I think as far as like Zelda comparisons, it's probably going to end up middle of the list for me. But it's still a good game.
Yeah, yeah, it has like
But okay.
it has like good parts. I mean, the world itself I found is really charming to explore and everything, and I think it has some really standout dungeons, like the Deku dungeon. I really liked. It's very intricate and very fun to explore. And I really liked the Hebra dungeon too. The way that's I have a soft spot for water puzzles in Zelda. Always a staunch water temple defender from Ocarina of Time, but
Sure.
but yeah, I was a bit lukewarm on it because of the
Water Temple gets done so dirty.
yeah. It really does. But yeah, that's
All
that's
right.
cool.
So before we jump into our sorry, go ahead.
But that's cool to hear that you finally tackled Echoes of Wisdom after a while.
Yeah. Yeah, and and I'll be happy to have finally checked that off my list.
Yeah.
So before we jump into our 25 game of the year discussion, Prime 4. So this one comes from Cold Gold Lazarus. It's a two-parter. So there was a rumor from a dubious source, but the actual base concept of the rumor seems like a pragmatic move, despite the fanciful embellishments and more specific details. So how likely do you think it is that Retro is gearing up for Prime 5 as we speak, even with the mixed reception beyond his head?
I think if Nintendo wants to keep Prime going, I think it would be in their best interest to have Retro Studios basically have them lick their wounds and just get started with the project. I'm not too personally interested in the idea of, oh, they have to be working on Prime 5 now or anything like that. Because what if they did end up finding their own project that they really want to do again, and maybe it'll actually come out this time. But I could see it. The vibe of a lot of the interviews has been, hey, controversial design decisions. We might have realized might have been a bit of stuck with our guns, giving a sense of awareness of, okay, we tried it this time. It didn't really work out as much. Let's just do something else next time. So that suggests that, oh, yeah, we're not giving. We kind of are aware of things, but this. Again, the thing when we say middling mixed reception with Prime 4, we have a game that's like not a disaster, just kind of like there in some regards. Can you tell that Metroid Prime 5 Beyond will not be on my list of Game of the Year this year? So yeah, I think it would be in their best interest. I wouldn't be surprised because this, in the sense that we'll have a Metroid Prime 5 in I don't know, 2029 by then. But if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be radically shocked if that makes sense.
No, that makes
Probably,
sense.
I guess it's more likely that I'm working on another Donkey Kong right now, but
I mean, they have to be working on something.
Yeah.
So why not Metroid
whether
5?
it comes out or not is another question.
All right. And then we had part 2 to this question. Sorry, go ahead, Irene.
Yeah, I certainly hope that we're getting a Prime 5 because I was also one of those people that was I wasn't too hyped on Prime 4. I think it's become almost a bit of a what do you say? I mean, a lot of people have had issues with Prime 4, and I'm one of those people who had issues with Prime 4. But to me, Prime 4 was it wasn't as much of a bad game as it was a game with unfulfilled potential. And that is why I really would like to have a Prime 5 that could fulfill the potential. And we also got from the interviews that it had a bit of a rocky development history. So I just think that playing Prime 4, I'm this needs this kind of game and this kind of this type of game needs another chance. And there's so much good in Prime 4. The art direction is phenomenal. Okay. The gameplay.
That makes sense. And then we did have a part 2 to this question.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sure.
I just want to. Yeah, I definitely want the Prime 5.
Oh no, you're fine. All right. So also, given the 40th anniversary this year, there's a chance we could see a Samus Returns HD port or a glimpse of Metroid 6 or Super or a Fusion remake, depending on what Mercury Steam has been up to. Or maybe something completely different, unexpected, or nothing at all. Which of these options do you think is most likely? And separately, which of these options do you want the most?
The one I think is the one I want the most is Metroid 6. It's cool to get a HD port of Samus Returns. I don't really think we need a remake of Super Metroid or Metroid Fusion. The games are readily available on Nintendo Classics, quote unquote outdated or anything like that in the same way that Metroid 2 Return of Samus did. Just give us something new. Give us Metroid 6. It's been about 2026 would be 6 years. Yeah, because we got 2021 was the release date of Dread, right?
Yeah.
21?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been 5 years. Timeline wise, that doesn't seem the most unreasonable. My cynical expectation is that we'll get none of these and we'll get nothing. No mention of a Metroid 40th. We'll get, we'll probably, honestly, my cynical take is that we'll barely get anything for any other 40th besides the Mario. We might get a cursory mention of something for Zelda. Pokemon will take up most of the 30th. And but that's my cynical take. But ideally, I would love to see a quick release end of year of Metroid 6.
Yeah, I'm also really wanting to see Metroid 6.
Okay, cool. I would much rather see Metroid 6 than a remake of Super or Fusion. Maybe Fusion, I don't know, Fusion, I don't mean to demean the games, but I don't think it's important enough to kind of skip immediately to remake ahead of Super, I guess. And then Super doesn't need a remake. It's kind of almost a perfect game.
Yeah, I agree.
It'd be like remaking A Link to the Past.
Yeah.
It's very much defined by how it looks. I don't think it's a game that should be remade.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other thoughts on that? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think that I was really impressed by Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread was one of the best games of 2021 as far as I'm concerned, and that's it had some shortcomings for me personally, like with the linearity and stuff. But just like with Prime 4, I'm like, there's more that can be done with this type of game, and I would love to see more of that. Mercury Steam has just like earned my trust when it comes to Metroid. They know how to make a good Metroid game. They should continue to make a good Metroid game. So I definitely want to see them bring their A game to Metroid 6 and make it awesome. Yeah.
Okay. So with the Metroid talk concluded, I think we can start talking about our 2025 games of the year.
Yay!
So kind of like we've done it in the past, we each have our top 3 games, and we'll kind of escalate to one. We'll also throw in some honorable mentions and some other notes in there. But just to kind of jump into it, I suppose we can just go one by one. So VolcanicDynamo, you want to give your number 3 game of the year?
Sure. So before I do that, I want to mention not honorable mentions, but games that I would have been interested in playing this year, but didn't.
Okay.
And this is the indie trifecta of Blueprints, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong. I played out of those 3 games, I've only played a single run of Hades 2. And I enjoyed it, but I have not put enough time into the game to talk about it. I think if I did put more time into it, you might have seen it on this list. Silksong is going to be a 2026 game for me this year, alongside the Switch 2 edition of the first game. So you might be seeing that mentioned in next year's Game of the Year podcast when we talk about favorite games from 25, but they only started in 26.
Yeah.
But this is going to be fitting because for my number 3 pick, I am going to choose an indie game, one that is a little bit more obscure, at least for the Nintendo audience, because it did not come out on the Nintendo Switch. It's on PC and it's on Xbox, and it is called Spirit Swap Lo-Fi Beach to Match 3-2. So this it's a Panel de Pon like. So if you played Tetris Attack, Pokemon Puzzle League, Planet Puzzle League, the Animal Crossing Puzzle League minigame that they added to New Leaf, or if you played Panel de Pon on Nintendo Classics, you understand the game loop here. It's a match 3 puzzler where you combine like three in a row to just make blocks disappear, and you want to try to make either longer lines of combos in order to do more powerful attacks at your opponent, or you want to sort of do chaining combos where you're dropping blocks and you're trying to match the colors / symbols, right? If you've played any of those other games, you generally know what's going on here. There are 2 major twists to this one, though. The first is a sort of a power system, where if you arrange blocks in a particular pattern, you can spend meter in order to activate a special effect, which in the single player you can equip 3, but in multiplayer it depends on which character you choose. And this basically adds a little bit more spice to your standard competitive Panel de Pon, because now character choice is maybe a bit more meaningful, and I think it's a fun little twist. The other major twist, and arguably the one that's the most impactful, is the shift in storytelling, right? This game goes from a very light story, but featuring a lot of side modes, right? That's your usual, like, Panel de Pon kind of deal, to only really having the basic single and multiplayer modes, but compensating that with a much more in-depth story mode, which is told in the vein of a visual novel. Ooh. The main storyline and specific cutscenes have full voice acting, which is really good, but you are going to spend, especially after you do the first set of matches, a lot of time spent doing this visual novel storytelling, because this is also, to an extent, a bit of a dating sim. You're playing as a specific character. You're playing as this very delightful lead Samar, but you are basically given the choice to bond with the other characters that you fought during the versus matches. And you have a wide variety of relationships with these characters already. Some of them you're already friends with, and it's very built in. Some have sort of past sort of relationship stuffs. There are the dynamics they have with the other characters, and you get to pick which characters you want to date, or you can take them all. And it ended up being one of my favorite narratives of the year. No, I don't think any game this year, in terms of its storytelling, has made me feel for the characters more or made me laugh more than what Spirit Swap does. And I really think it does a good job of exploring different kinds of relationship dynamics using just its lead. The game also has a really great soundtrack. It also has pretty much an all black and brown cast, an all queer cast,
Ooh.
and pretty much all but like one character is non-binary. We got a lot of gender stuff in this. So yeah, if you're willing to play a game on PC, it's available on itch, it's available on Steam, and you want a game that actually still leans into a franchise that Nintendo has kind of neglected in recent years, but is still just like a really solid puzzler, I would highly recommend Spirit Swap. That's my number 3 pick for the year.
It sounds like an amazing number 3 pick.
Yeah, that's. I look forward to seeing it in an indie presents eventually.
Yeah, is
We'll
it
see.
which
Maybe one day we'll get our Switch port.
which platforms is it on?
Right now, it is on PC. You
Okay.
can get it on itch. You can get it on Steam. It is also available on the Xbox platform. But who's playing on Xbox? Get the
That's
PC
fair.
version. Play on the PC.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So, Irene, what's your number 3 game of the year?
My number 3 is Lost Records Bloom and Rage, which is
Okay.
if you're not familiar with it, I can give a little bit of a rundown of it. It's the new game from the original Life is Strange developers. And I adored Life is Strange, the first Life is Strange. It just came like thunder from clear sky back in my miserable life back in 2015. I was like, holy shit, this is one of the best games I've ever played. And no Life is Strange game since has managed to hit the same highs as the first game. I thought the second game was good, but not great. Before the Storm was good, but not great. And True Colors was also good, but not great. And Double Exposure was like top 3 biggest disappointment ever. So never mind about that. But Lost Records Bloom and Rage is really that kind of beautiful, beautiful game that is like, okay, the originals, the OGs are back, and they're back in action and are gonna show everyone how it's done. And it's basically like just everything you loved about it. It's a very similar vibe based. It's very similar to the first Life is Strange. You got a small town, you got a mystery, you got a group of teenage girls, like that. And it's exactly the same type of game where you choose dialogue options. And every time you choose a dialogue option, I like this touch a lot. Every time you choose a dialogue option, it comes up either with a little heart or with a little heart that breaks. So every single dialogue option you can see if you're affecting one of the other characters that you're interacting with. It's really, really cool, because otherwise in these kind of games you're thinking about like Walking Dead and Telltale games and stuff. It's like you do these choices that's sometimes is inconsequential, and sometimes it will come up like, oh, Clementine will remember this, that was like, oh, that was a significant choice. But for this game, every single choice you do feels significant, and every single choice you do builds your relationship with these with the friends you're making in the game, and eventually it becomes like dating sim like in how the relationships develop. So it's really such a cool execution of the concept where they made a game where every single choice matters, and every single choice has weight behind it. It has gravity behind it, and it's just like everything that made Life is Strange 1 so good, but like the graphics are better, the environments are more detailed, the small town mystery is more appealing, or like more engaging, and the characters are, I think, is more well-rounded and less stereotypical, and I just ended up loving the entire experience from beginning to end. And when the credits rolled, I was like, holy shit, this is an all-timer. And it says a lot about how great this game was, the fact that this is like a straight out 10 out of 10 like banger of game, and it's number 3. It just shows how incredible this year was, that this game should have been number 1, but the 2 other games that released are a little bit better. So yeah, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, amazing game.
Very curious to see what your number 2 game is then.
Yeah, I need to play the Life is Strange games because I do love like the narrative games, and I know it's not quite visual novel, but kind of leaning that way, and I've been enjoying those more and more like as I get older, I guess.
Yeah, and it's
all right. So go ahead.
No, never mind. Good games. What I was to say. Okay, your turn, WestEgg.
I think, regrettably, I think my list is going to be a little more basic than the 2 of you have. So I'll just say that now.
Okay.
I would love for my number 3 game of the year to have been Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, but I didn't put enough time into it to justify it. So I might mention that a bit more in my honorable mentions. Mm-hmm. So I've got to give my number 3 to Mario Kart World, and that might get further discussion later, so I'm not going to say too much now, but just it's just a very good Mario Kart game. Like it does cool things, and it's just a blast to play. And again, I'll hold kind of my thoughts further on that, but yeah, Mario Kart World, number 3 game of the year for me.
Beep.
Beep, beep. All right, so we can move on to number 2. So, Volcanic, what do you got on number 2?
So, if anyone was around for the very start of recording for this podcast, which I know my 2 lovely co-hosts have been, you will know that I actually had a really difficult time choosing between my number 2 game and my number 1 game. And I deliberated between it back and forth, because I think either in terms of how much I enjoyed playing both of these games this year, I could theoretically make an argument for either one of them, right? I could make an argument for either one. Now, so I'm basically flipping a coin in my mind to decide which one I want to talk about as change, and I could make an argument for either one of these 2 being number 1. But I'm going to flip my coin.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, to my head, Mario Kart World.
Ooh.
And I was so close to making it number 1. And I'll talk, but it has really good competition for number 1 this year. If you know anything about me, I am a very big Mario. Actually, let me rephrase it. I am not the biggest Mario Kart person, but I am a very big Mario Kart 8 Deluxe person. And Mario Kart 8 in general, right? Mario Kart 8 is one of my favorite games, right? It is an exemplary racing game, which admittedly took a couple of releases and DLC packs to truly come into the greatest form that we have here, where we could be playing and talking about it for 11 years. But, you know, it is one of the most played games I have across 2 different game systems, right? And Mario Kart World gave it very tough, and it gives very big shoes to fill with Mario Kart World because of the sheer amount of content, the sheer amount of everything. And in some ways, Mario Kart World does slightly stumble a little bit, right? You're not going to have as in-depth of the amount of gameplay. Well, not in terms of the game, like not as much in terms of the courses. We have 30 courses, main courses, as opposed to, you know, now the nearly 100 courses we have in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. There's less battle modes, right? And there are other minor weirdnesses. I don't mind the UI stuff as much in terms of the character selection screen. It always defaults to the character I want to play as. But, you know, But other things like, hey, maybe the interconnecting route, the route system isn't always necessarily going to be like the 10 out of 10 most interesting stuff, on all of those things where I think there are more specific flaws. When I'm playing the game, though, most of that stuff just does not end up mattering because Mario Kart
Hmm.
World ends up being like such a magical experience for me. From being able to just zone out and explore this very theme park like world, sort of open world on my own time, doing the nearly 400 missions, to enjoying the extremely excellent soundtrack, both the new tracks and the extensive collection of remixes. This is my favorite soundtrack this year for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Um, um, the very beautifully animated characters and characters and animations that we get to see, which are leagues ahead of their Mario Kart 8 Deluxe counterparts. All of those different little aspects come together to make an experience that is greater than the sum of its parts for me. It's also been the best demonstration of why game chat is a fun and useful feature. I've spent so many hours doing game chat sessions, with with my fellow Famiboard members. With Irene, we had a
Yeah.
very memorable photo taking session,
Oh, I love
which
that.
was a
Yeah.
blast. We have to do that again.
Yeah, of course.
And I've had great moments with the people I now consider my partners. It's, as a bonding experience, these are the kinds of things that, being able to play games with friends allows, and I really like and really convinced me of game chat as a feature. And I don't think any other game on my game of the year list has convinced me as hard on a communications feature than anything else. Than anything else that I could talk about. Again, on a good day, on another day, I can easily see this being number one. So, what game was good enough to be my number one? If you know anything about me, I think you already know what I picked. But I'm curious to see what you folks have to say
Cool.
about
Fair
your number
enough.
two, number
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
All right. Irene, what do you got?
This is gonna be a rehash from the previous episode because I ranted and raved about this game in the previous episode. I'm gonna do it again because I'm giving it an opportunity. If I ever get an opportunity to rant about Zelda, I'm gonna rant about Zelda, and I'm gonna rant about by my number two, which is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment. And
Hmm.
It's not your number one.
it's not my number one, no.
Ooh.
I kind of thought it would be too.
Da-da-da-da. Yeah, so yeah, but I said a lot about it in the last episode, but I'll say it again because it deserves to be spoken about another time, just to underline how incredible the gameplay in this game is. It is like it's such a huge lift from Age of Calamity. Like not only like performance wise and frame rate wise, but Age of Calamity was like a serviceable-ish Muso game, but Age of Imprisonment was just an absolute blast to play all the time, and I just had so much fun mowing down hordes, coming up with sick attacks, and I'll shout out this special attack as much as I can. The freaking Knight construct jumping back, swinging around the sword, and the music stops, and it not stops. The music like slow down in volume, and it comes this big like, and it's so good. It's like one of the like top 10 most satisfying combat moves in like years of combat centric games. It's so good, and just the fact that they like improved so much on the Muso experience and came up with all these sick moves that are so much fun to play around with. But the rail shooting is amazing. The fact that they just added like they were just like, hey, Nintendo is not gonna make a Star Fox game. Screw it, we're making a Star Fox game ourselves, and it's just so much hype to soar around in like the sky world and see the sky islands pass by, and you arm yourself with like sonai devices and just like mow down shit. And
Hmm.
it's so good. It's so fun to play. It's so satisfying. But other than that, it's just an excellent Tears of the Kingdom prequel. Like, the story is really, really good. It takes some really, really unexpected turns. And what I mean with that is that how it is a Tears of the Kingdom prequel that is so cool to like, it replays scenes that are in the Tears of the Kingdom flashbacks, but then continues. So you see like Zelda waking up as you see in Tears of the Kingdom, but then the cutscene like continues, and that's such a special and cool and unique feeling to feel like, oh, we're experiencing an expansion of this story, and it's so cool. And just like, and the fact that they also added an original story on top of Tears of the Kingdom's prequel story, which is the story about the Night Construct and Calamo, the new Korok character. And it gave the game an interesting, distinct like story twist, that it's not only not only like a retelling of the past of Tears of the Kingdom, it's also a brand new story about this really cool dynamic duo with the silent construct that doesn't say anything, and the super hype, super eager, cool Korok dude that is just like super wholesome. And they just like, I was just blown away by it. I had high expectations. I was like, yes, a proper musical game with Tears of the Kingdom's prequel as a story. It's gonna be so good. But it actually exceeded my expectations. Like, there's a certain point, I won't spoil, towards the end, where I was just like, I throwed up my arms, I put down the controller, throwed up my arms, I went just like, absolute cinema. It's such a good game.
I need to finish the game. I'm a bit past the start of the imprisoning war at this point.
Okay.
But I think I may have Musoed myself out of it by like replaying through Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition earlier this year. So, but
Honey,
I need to.
I get the Switch 2 performance bump. Honey, you gave yourself such a tall order.
Oh, I love Definitive Edition, but and I don't regret that. But yeah, and also shout outs to the Korok being voiced by ProZD. I thought that was awesome.
What? Oh yeah. That's true. That's really cool actually. But I definitely recommend you finishing it, because the thing that
I will. I definitely will.
The thing I will not spoil is worth experiencing because it's so damn hype.
Mm-hmm.
So it's your turn, WestEgg.
All right. So I honestly thought you were gonna have this game for your number one. So I'm wondering now if your number one is my number two.
Okay.
Because yeah, my number two game of the year is Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Oh, nice.
It was just like, I know that people may have a little bit of fatigue about hearing how good it is, but it is a very, very good video game. Like, I love the combat. Like, people describe the combat is basically like Dark Souls Paper Mario, which fair enough. But like it has one of those stories where like every 5 minutes you're taking a break and you're like, oh, now that I have this piece of information, I now realize the whole truth, and you don't have the whole truth until you're much closer to the end of the game.
Yeah.
But just a great game to explore, great combat, very I mean, I have thoughts on the story because I think there are things that could have gone better or whatever, but it was still a good story that made me think and made me like appreciate it and like anticipate it and whatnot. So I can't really let like perfect be the enemy of good when I kind of evaluate it. But yeah, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, fantastic characters, like SKA is character of the year.
Love SKA.
Yeah, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. That's my number two game of the year.
Yeah, it's shout outs to the, I know I raved a lot about that Night Construct move, but shout outs to the attack of the year, which is Miles Standall attack, the one that can do like 1 billion damage. So good.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
All right, so Before we get to our number one definitive games of the year, we can give out some honorable mentions because there were a lot of games that came out this year, and we also may have played some games that didn't come out this year for the first time. So just kind of going first with our 2025 honorable mentions.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
two.
Volcanic Dynamo, you have some?
The first is Kirby Air Riders. If we had a longer list, it'd probably be number 4. Let's be honest. It's a great,
Hmm.
it's a great return of Kirby Air Ride. It feels like, you know, it patches up a couple of its weak points by just giving you way fucking more of the game. You know,
Mm.
it's more Kirby Air Ride. It has a lot of the strengths and weaknesses. Rick is my son. Rick was always going to be my son, and he continues to be my son. He's my precious baby, and anyone who says bad things about him will be run over by Rick specifically. You know.
Good.
But yeah, I almost don't even have that much to say. I mean, it's more Kirby Air Ride. It's really solid. I still think Mario Kart is the better racing game, but I think in terms of just being like a vehicular action game, there's a lot of charm with Kirby Air Riders. So it's a game I feel like I want to play more, even though even though I put 40 hours into it. Great. But my more tricky honorable mention. We were gonna get back
Uh-huh.
to this one. Pokemon Legends ZA. Now, I think Pokemon Legends ZA still suffers from a lot of, I guess I almost like to call them the Game Freak isms, where you can really tell the cut corners. This particularly shows up in in story animations, where we're still getting the exact same style of canned animation cutscenes that we've been getting since the 3DS, and that's been kind of tired since we saw them on Switch One, and that's not going to change. Not every bit of the writing hits. You could argue that some of the music might be a little bit repetitive. Lumio City, maybe a little bit of a small setting. I still think it is better than Legends Arceus. If you know anything about me, I have a more critical take on Legends Arceus than other people do, because I think while it is interesting to have almost like this Monster Hunter like that focuses more on catching, I feel like the game focuses more on catching to the detriment of actually using my Pokemon in battles, and I think the actual battle system is honestly a less interesting take on the turn-based combat that we just get with the main series games already. Well, but Legends is a core game too, but with the other core games, I think
Hmm.
Legends ZA's mechanics balance that a lot better, where you're still using a lot of the stealth mechanics from Legends Arceus. That's still something that you could do to engage with the world and all that kind of stuff. But now it's done within the context of not only wild encounters, but this new real-time battle system, which really uses a lot of the same core as the other core games, but places a really new spin where other Pokemon are maybe more viable than others, new moves are more viable than others. It's like this completely new kind of style, completely new kind of metagame, as we've seen with the fact that this has online. And while I would love to see Game Freak, take another stab, at this sort of formula with, maybe a bit of a higher, production budget, or maybe at least more time to cook on things outside of that base gameplay. I I've gone from someone who's like, Legend is fine, but I want them to make more dramatic reinventions to, they have something here. Keep iterating on this for the Legends sub-series. Keep doing this real-time battle system. Keep this sort of balance between battles, with battles and stuff. Not that I don't expect the Legend series to not continue being more like experimental, but I quite enjoyed what they gave me of ZA, even with its issues. Definitely enough to be my honorable mention.
Awesome.
Amazing. Yeah. Should I go ahead with my honorable mention?
Go for it.
Yeah. I just want to give like a little tip of the hat. Little tip of the hat to Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Just because like I first Death Stranding I didn't actually play. I watched all the cutscenes because I had like issues back then, so I couldn't play. First Death Stranding But the story was like a bit, I don't know, wasn't too hot on the story. The gameplay looked unique, but maybe not my cup of tea. But I was still intrigued by Death Stranding 2 because I heard it was like such a big improvement, such a better evolvement of the formula. And what I loved the most about Death Stranding 2 is that this is a game where nuts Kojima is back. Like, the kind of nuts Kojima we haven't seen since Metal Gear Solid 2 is back, because this game is like, it's a Death Stranding game, so it is for the most part a very low-key, chill experience. You pack your stuff on your arms and on your backpack and go hiking. It has a bigger emphasis on combat in this game, where there are like Metal Gear Solid 5 style enemy camps, where stealth is a big part of it, to sneak around guards. It is very fun. It is very polished. But what I love the most about Death Stranding 2 is also something I can't spoil, but the finale of this game is straight up some of the most like batshit crazy stuff I've ever seen in a game. Like, holy shit, this game pulls no punches and does like some of the most like bizarre shit I've ever seen. And I love it so much, and that's why I want to give it a shout out and a tip of the hat, because this is a AAA game. This is a AAA game published by Sony. And it's so cool that in this day and age when big publishers play it safe, chase trends and stuff, and all of a sudden you have this game where there's like someone threw millions and millions of dollars on like an eccentric Japanese dude in his 50s so he could do whatever the hell he wants. And the finale of Death Stranding is just like, the finale of Death Stranding 2 is just like, I can't believe I'm playing a big budget game with this much wild shit in it. And I love that. So definitely a very special shout out to Death Stranding 2. Holy shit.
All right, so for my honorable mention, there's a few games that like I played a bit of, but I don't think I can properly still evaluate them. So Age of Imprisonment's on there, Fantasy Life I is on there, Prime 4 is on there. Really kind of dabbled in a bunch of games. I'm gonna be a little bit subversive.
Uh-huh.
My honorable mention I'll specifically shout out is Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour.
Nice.
I put a lot of time into it and thought it was kind of delightful. That's really all I can say about it. Like I played through it. I had fun collecting the stamps. I had fun learning about the Nintendo Switch 2. It was interesting. Like I'm okay. So I'm like, I was the kid that had like the book that had like the break apart diagrams of how things worked and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So like that stuff is very interesting to me. Like I have the video game console books that has like the like breakdown of every video game console up to that point, is like as far as like the innards and everything and all of that. So like it's just cool to me, and I just enjoyed it. I was like, this was made, if I were like 11 years old right now, that would have like altered my brain chemistry. Like it would have like, yeah. So I know it's not the most popular game of the year, but like I don't know, I enjoyed it. Just give it an honorable mention.
Nice.
Don't make me want to buy the $10 tech demo, WestEgg. Come on.
It's neat. That's what I can say about it. It's not fantastic, but it is neat.
I like neat. But I like neat things.
All right.
All right.
Hi, Luffy.
Go ahead.
Just want to say hi to Luffy.
Oh, we got a hi in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Luffy.
So, WestEgg, I need to call you out on something.
Go for it.
This next point on the we're discussing on the podcast, you put best games you played for the first time this year that weren't released this year. Did you put that on the agenda just to get me to talk about Xenoblade 2?
No, I didn't actually, but you can. I absolutely can. I didn't even think about that, to be honest. I just had games of my own that I thought I was going to bring up.
All right.
Well, I guess we know. Well, I guess we spoiled that pick. Oops.
Do you just want to go ahead?
I can talk about Xenoblade 2. I can talk about Xenoblade 2. Holy shit, this game. I'm so conflicted about it because this game has so much game design BS in it that made me split my hair in half. Like, I think the moment that finally broke me as an individual is in the world tree, where there's one field skill. There's a lot of field skills that makes you like, you know, you're like, oh, do I have to progress the story? Do I really have to buy like a cabbage and walk around with it to make Mithra learn blah 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 blah? There's one field skill in the world tree that just like broke me as a person. I was like, I can't believe this game is putting me through so much. Yeah, it broke me. But everything that I have conflicted, everything I have internal conflicts about when it comes to Xenoblade 2 is like not exactly forgiven, but I can still recognize as false. But I ended up walking away from Xenoblade 2 just absolutely floored, because the final 2 or 3 hours of that game is just like absolute peak. Like when you finally
Yes.
It's not a spoiler because the goal of the game is to reach Elysium. When you reach Elysium, and from that point on, everything that happens in the story, the revelations, the twists, the turns, the exposition, the character moments, the like performance from the voice actors, and like everything from that moment on is so damn peak and so emotionally charged and so emotionally resonant that it was just like it's I dare say that it's at the same like level in terms of impact as Xenoblade 3's end of chapter 5. Like it's that good. It's that good.
Sure.
It's that peak. And I just ended up finishing Xenoblade 2 and be like, holy shit, that was a ride. It just amazing ending. Amazing.
I could talk so much about Xenoblade 2, so I don't want to hold up the podcast too long. But yeah, I guess I'll just say that, like, yes, the game has highs and lows and whatnot, but I play games for the highs, and it has some
well
really
said.
good highs.
Well said.
Okay. All right. Volcanic, what's your pick?
This is going to probably be something I'll mention again next year because I've only put a little bit of time into it, but I've loved what I played so far. Disco Elysium. I'm really enjoying
Nice.
the little bits of Disco Elysium that I played. I'm really eager and contractually obligated by my partners to finish it. So we'll see what I say when we get to it next year. But I've really enjoyed.
It's so well written.
Okay, awesome.
It's so well written. Just language.
So
Extremely so.
Yeah.
So my favorite game that I played this year that did not come out this year but was for the first time. So in the lead up to Donkey Kong Country Returns HD releasing, I decided to play through the Country series because I hadn't. And or I hadn't played all the way through them. I'd like started the first game. And Donkey Kong Country 2 is a phenomenal video game. Like, I know everyone knows this. I know I'm really late to the party, but it's a great platformer. It has one of the best soundtracks ever put to like a Nintendo media cartridge or disc or anything. Like it has great escalation, like it has great atmosphere. Like I remember saying this in a thread, but like something I really appreciate about the game is like you're going to Crocodile Isle. It's where the Kremlings live. It's like an evil place or whatever. But you get like the glimpses of beauty of the island, and it's like this is a place that is occupied by evil, and it has that kind of like yearning to break free. So you get these really serene, beautiful moments while playing through the game, and it's just and like it helps enforce just kind of the oppressive atmosphere it has otherwise. But it's also like a silly monkey game where you fight crocodiles and like. No, I love Donkey Kong Country too. It like I see the light. I get it now. Like that's yeah, that was great.
Awesome.
I wonder what your game of the year 2026 is going to be.
It
2025 is going to be. I wonder.
All right, so we can get into our 2025 games of the year. All right,
Guy.
so I guess I can just jump into it for mine since we're on that train. But yeah, it's Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's absolutely Donkey Kong Bonanza. It was always going to be Donkey Kong Bonanza. Um,
Monkey.
just it's so good. Like it was like from the moment we saw it with the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal, I was like, oh, this is the game I didn't know I needed in my life. And like I didn't even know I was preparing for it by playing all the old games leading up to Returns HD, and it paid off so well. I won't say much more about that, but like yeah, Donkey Kong Country or Donkey Kong Bonanza is just a fantastically playing game. It's a fantastic sounding game. We had a whole podcast where I gushed about it. It's the only game I played through twice this year, fully. So yeah, easily game of the year. Like yes, Clear Obscure, great game, swept, good for you, honey. But no, it's Donkey Kong for me.
Nice.
I'll
Yeah.
let you know, Irene. You should go. You should go next. You should go next.
Should I go next? Okay, my number one
Yes,
is
go next.
okay. My number one is Blueprints.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's a good pick. That's
Yeah,
a good
and
pick.
I'm not saying it's not only my number one for 2025. I firmly firmly personally think Blueprints is the second best game of the 2020s after Tears of the Kingdom, in my opinion.
Ooh.
Blueprints is
Hey.
Wow.
it is so unbelievably fantastic of a video game, because what I love so much about it is that first of all the concept itself is genius. Like it's one of those games where like you can elevator pitch it and people will be like, holy shit, what a good idea for a game. You're in a magical house or like a magical mansion slash estate, and you're building the house like room by room. Like it is this genius like mix between like a card game or on a chessboard, but it's like a house puzzle game. It's so good and so cool. And while the random nature of it is what turns like 90% of people off of it, they're like, oh, it's too random. I ended up getting bad luck, so I drafted dead ends at the end and stuff like that. But I think what made this game finally click for me is that yes, it is random, and it does like screw you over very, very much. It took me like 197 tries until I reached the credits. Like 197 tries. It was excruciating at times. But towards the last 20 or 30 tries before I reached the credits, it was like you start to see patterns in the randomness. And I thought that was extremely cool. That like, oh, if I go to the right at the start, there's like a 50% chance I will draft a Nook. But if I draft a Nook at the right, there's a 25% chance. You start to like see the patterns in the randomness. And I thought that is an incredibly cool thing that I've never experienced before in a game. And this is just scratching the surface of the surface of the surface of what Blueprints actually is. Because holy shit, this game has such a deep rabbit hole of secrets, mysteries, lore, and whatever have you. If you like just take your eyes off the main goal of reaching room 46 and start to like pay attention to the furniture in the rooms and all the patterns here and there and odd objects that seem out of place, it all turns out into like this mind-blowing like spider web of like just like secrets and secrets within secrets. And there's so much to do now that I've reached the credits. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I found room 46. Now the real game starts, because now I gotta track down this clue and this mystery and this like optional rabbit hole that I found that just goes deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. It is such a good game on like the base level that just playing a few rounds is fun and feels good. But there's so much in it. Like, holy shit, there's this YouTuber called Fury Forged that does these like secret hunting videos, and he used to do like videos about Animal Well. He does videos about Noita, videos about UFO 50, But ever since Blueprints released, this channel has been like all about Blueprints, because it has just set the secret hunting community on fire. that people who play this game and truly get how rewarding it is to dig into its deepest secrets realize that it is a game that just never feels like it never ends. There's so much to discover, so many secrets, so much lore, and it's just yeah, I think I talked a lot now. Blueprints.
No,
Holy shit.
I need I need this with MouseCon and a touchscreen. Make it happen, and you might get on my 2026 honorable. You might get on my best games of 25 I played in 26 list.
Yeah,
it would
know
be
you
a great
want to.
handheld game.
Do it.
yeah, it's most wanted Switch 2 port by far, or Switch 1 port.
I did play a bit of Blueprints. I think I got to like day 27, and then I kind of lost interest, but I would love to get back into it.
Yeah, it's understandable if people like bounce off of it or lose interest. It's a good
Mhm.
concept of a game, but it's understandable if like people have issues with it. So totally, but for people who really stick with it and really are willing to dig into like what the game really has to offer, it's a lot. It's a lot. Holy shit. Yeah.
All right. Then Volcanic, what's your game of the year?
What do you fucking think? It's Donkey Kong. It's fucking Donkey Kong.
Yay!
And you would have, and you want to know what would have told you this right from the start? Look at the developer. From the
Yeah.
beginning, it was very obvious who was making this game. It's Nintendo's EBD8 division, their Tokyo team, the masterminds behind my favorite games of all time, the 3D Mario games, right?
Yeah.
And of course, as most folks who are watching this podcast know, but I love mentioning this, EPD8's first game was a Donkey Kong title. It was Donkey Kong Jungle Beat on GameCube. So this is their grand return to the IP, right? And I think that's just kind of neat. Now, while WestEgg has the perspective of someone who's recently discovered the Donkey Kong franchise and become to care about it because he played through all of the games, I'm coming at this from the perspective of someone who really does not care about Donkey Kong, right? I'm so sorry to our very big Donkey Kong contingent, but yeah, I was the kind of kid who grew up in the era where Donkey Kong kind of was just a Mario spinoff. The last major console game, there was a good period of time where hey, for most of my childhood, between Donkey Kong 64 and Donkey Kong Country Returns, we were just getting ports in those other spinoffs. We were getting Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Country stuff in the bevy of Mario sports games and Mario parties and all that, and Mario Karts that were coming out at the time. So I never particularly had the biggest thoughts on the Donkey Kong franchise. I'll get to it one day, but I never really did. That being said, Donkey Kong Bonanza is just that good.
Yes.
EPD8, they did it again. They did it again. They made an incredible platformer that is a good iteration on the Mario Odyssey style of open kind of level design where they've really made using the terrain that core central mechanic. Not only does it just do such a good job of portraying Donkey Kong's sheer strength as this big ape, right? But it also gives so many more means of traversing areas, whether you're literally just digging up or down or through a level, using your terrain to do turf surf or surf, using it to help with platforming or to do all of that kind of stuff. It's great. It's really great. They really and the redesign for Donkey Kong is one of my favorite character redesigns ever. They took a character design that I was ambivalent on, I liked, but didn't really feel much, to one that I loved watching in motion, one that I loved seeing emote, and one that I just had such a fun time controlling and just experiencing, especially since this game goes just a little bit more into story than your typical Mario game. I'd say it's not that much more in depth than Odyssey's story, maybe a touch, right?
Mhm.
But there is a little bit more, and the little bit more I got is there, almost to the point where I almost wish the game gave me even more, especially with some of the stuff with our side character Pauline. Don't ask how this fits into the Mario universe timeline. It's not important. Don't worry about it. But yeah, this is the kind of game that makes me want to care about Donkey Kong more. And if you know anything about me, that is extreme. Not that I'm not really a Donkey Kong hater so much as a Donkey Kong person ambivalent. That is extremely high praise. That the love that they really showed for this character and for the IP, alongside doing their own thing, makes me want to play more Donkey Kong. It also has, as EBD has been known to, a fantastic finale, right?
Yes.
The final, for a game that honestly, admittedly, had some pretty lacking boss fights, the very final stretch between can we say the spoiler already? Is it fine? We had a whole podcast episode on it. Can we talk about it?
I think yeah, I think we determined that the Avatar bet on Famiboards was past its like statute of limitations. So yeah, go for
Okay.
it.
Yeah, the King K. Rool boss fight, that sequence up through, the very first K. Rool fight up through the end game, absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
think the only thing I really have to say I don't know about its negative about Bonanza, is that I still kind of prefer Mario Odyssey.
That's fair.
I like, I think the theming around Odyssey is better. I think not the necessarily final area, but the final stretch of Odyssey, which was Moon Kingdom. Oh, sorry, which is not just Moon Kingdom, which was Ruined Kingdom to Bowser's Kingdom to Moon Kingdom. That chunk as a third act, I think overall is stronger than the Bonanza third act, which I think would be probably the equivalent would be everything from right before the feast layer um down. I totally forgot about the name of sublayer. I think it's 1200.
Mhm.
I think I think the feast layer, I think there's just a little, I think that end game maybe could have been paced a little bit faster. I don't know. But we're getting into nitpicks. EBD8's fantastic. They are probably my favorite development team um ever right now, and while I think I would have had less conflicts choosing what my favorite game of the year was if we were talking about, say, the next 3D Mario title. I'm glad that they got to do something other than Mario. I'm really glad they got to flex their creative muscle. Let these folks do whatever the heck. Let them do whatever the heck they want. They want to do more Donkey Kong. They want to do more. They want to do an original IP. Let them do whatever they want. I will try. At this point, I will probably trust them like completely to hit another home run, because that's what they've done almost consistently. Home run after home run after home run, from the Galaxies to 3D World to Odyssey and now Donkey Kong Bonanza. They keep making some of my favorite games on Nintendo platforms. Whenever they're ready for their next banger, do it, but I'll wait as patiently as I need to, because I know that they're going to hit it every time.
Yeah, they
Sure.
have such a portfolio. Holy shit.
All right. So yeah, pretty good game of the year discussion. Monkey sweep almost,
Yeah.
but
Except for me.
almost. So yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, gonna look a little bit ahead to 2026 now. So just to start out, I want everyone to lock in your 100% guaranteed prediction for 2026. Absolutely gonna happen for sure.
Gen 10 Pokemon, easiest layup of the year. Come on. 30th
Sure.
anniversary, we've gotten leaks about it. Is this even a prediction anymore? I feel like I'm cheating, but I also feel like it's going to happen. That's going to be the big 2026 holiday game. Book it.
Okay.
Is it what have they run out of colors to use as names?
They haven't. I don't think, from what we know that is rumored, I won't spoil it.
No,
They're
okay.
not doing a color name.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was like part of the big leak.
Yeah, I will not discuss the contents of
Oh,
the leak,
fair.
but I will just say it's not going to be using a color name.
Okay. My guaranteed prediction is actually a multiplayer Zelda. I think it's gonna happen.
Okay.
This year's game is gonna be a multiplayer Zelda game for exclusively for Switch 2. I think Zelda is gonna continue to be annual. It is we are getting a Zelda game this year, also an anniversary. I don't think Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD is happening. I just have the feeling in my gut that it's not gonna happen. And since we're not getting Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD, and we might not get mainline Zelda, I think something else is cooking behind the doors of EPD3 or EPD whoever is making it. We just had Echoes of Wisdom. 3D Zelda is a little further out. I just think stars are aligning for this year's Zelda to be like a Triforce Heroes follow-up, or like the next iteration of the idea of a multiplayer Zelda. So that's,
Man,
yeah.
I would settle for Triforce Heroes like HD that uses game chat. That would actually
Yeah, something like that could work
be a lot
too.
of fun.
That was
Yeah.
one of the conventions that they've wanted to challenge in Zelda, right? The idea that you are playing it alone. And I
Yeah.
feel like we're still kind of like, while we kind of got that with Triforce Heroes, I feel like we're still waiting on like that next like big take on that concept. So if we were to get like another multiplayer Zelda game, I would be very down to try it.
Yeah, same.
So my safe prediction would be that I think I agree with you that I'm seeing the Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD as being less likely. So I'm going to say NSO Twilight Princess for the anniversary.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
But
I
okay.
want to give something a little bit more ambitious. So I'm going to say 100% guaranteed lock in WestEgg seal of approval. Famicom Detective Club 4.
Ooh,
We
nice.
get
When
it
did Emio
announced
come
this
out?
year.
When did Emio come out? Was that last year?
That was 2024.
Now it's 2020. Yeah,
Wow.
2024. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah.
13
Yeah.
months ago. Yeah. Wow. Ambitious.
An announcement. Not necessarily a
Announcement.
release, but at least announced.
I feel like if they do a fourth Famicom Detective Club, I feel like they're gonna do a relatively quick turnaround though.
I mean,
That's my impression at least.
I feel like they can do that though. Like I don't think the production budget and like process is probably too high for them, unless they go full. I don't want to spoil MU if you haven't played it, but there's a part that is a bit more production heavy.
Okay.
But you all need to play Famicom Detective Club seriously. But
I will play our I will play our podcast namesake at some point as soon as I finish Tears of the Kingdom. No, I'm kidding.
all right. All right, so we actually got a few questions for predictions. So from Seventh Rest, what is y'all's take on the fairly quick releases of Dragon Quest III HD 2D and 1+2, and Dragon Quest VII Reimagined? Is it a sign that we could expect news on Dragon Quest 12 fairly soon?
Give the Dragon Quest fans something, please.
Yeah.
How long have we been waiting for Dragon Quest 12 again?
Yeah.
Too long. Too long. Um
When did 11
part of me
release?
See,
2019
part of me wants to say that
or
this
2018.
means yeah,
Yeah.
part of me feels that this means we'll get Dragon Quest 12 sooner. But like, honey, I was a Kingdom Hearts fan in 2013 and 2014. We were getting, here's the 1.5 remix, here's the 2.5 remix, and that kind of stuff. And then it still took another 5 years for us to get Kingdom Hearts 3. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
I
We'll see. We'll see
I
with Square
I
Enix.
mean, it has to happen eventually. It was announced forever ago, so it could happen this year, but also 11 had a really protracted development, and I know 12 has especially had like it is supposed to be kind of development hell heavy. So I would love to see it. If we see it, it's going to be like at the end of the year. That's just my guess.
Yeah, I think that it has been a very long time since I don't have the year in my head, but yeah, it's whenever one of those like big games goes missing in action, you sort of like. But then again, if a game does go like a little bit missing in action, as Dragon Quest 12 has, then it can just like either it can be like 3 years or half a year. Like you never really know. So I could hope for it, but I'm not certain.
Never forget to hype reasonably Metroid Prime 4.
True.
Yeah.
All right, so from NinGamer64, we have, do you think we'll be playing 3D Mario this year, or did DK Bonanza add a few extra years of development time?
No 3D Mario this year. Prove me wrong, but I do not think we're getting 3D Mario this year. Bonanza just came out. Bonanza just came out like half a year ago. No, not even, just about a half a year ago. That was their big game project that they wanted to do. It's done. They're probably going to need a little bit more time before this. Would it necessarily be impossible to see a 3D Mario as like one of the holiday games? It would probably be their biggest turnaround between big titles. Give it, beyond what, going from Galaxy 1 to 3D Land, that was about a year and a half, but that was also a smaller scale portable game. And game development in HD, as well as expectations, have just risen so much that they're probably going to need a little bit more time to cook. My safe prediction is it's not going to be that long, but it's going to be 2027. If they prove me wrong, I would love to be proven wrong, because you know how I feel about 3D Mario. If they do that, they've locked in my game of the year 2026.
What was
But
the
I'm going to be. But go on.
what was the overlap? Because it wasn't like Bonanza wasn't like EPD Tokyo, or was it only EPD Tokyo? Wasn't there some overlap with some other team?
I mean I remember that they get they had the support from like the usual support studios.
Okay.
So One Up Studio. There is the one other company that helped was Tri Crescendo,
Oh,
um who was not the lead developer, but they did help with it. And then we had One Up Studio. So EPD Tokyo and two support studios.
okay, yeah.
Um,
But
so
what I'm thinking is that I just think that we got Mario Kart World as launch game and Donkey Kong a month later. I think that's just like, and I'm a patterns person. I like my patterns, okay? So and to me it would be like very pattern following for like a Mario game to release and then a Donkey Kong game to release after X amount of years. And I just feel like Donkey Kong took the spot or spotlight from 3D Mario for the foreseeable future. So to directly literally answer the question, I definitely think that DK Bonanza added a few years, extra years of development time. And I think that when next 3D Mario is gonna drop, I think it's gonna be so damn good, because it's gonna drop. It's first of all, it's gonna be like so long, like 10 years or maybe even more, 10 years since Odyssey, right? But
yeah,
it's just gonna be a 3D Mario game that has been in the oven for a long time, and that's gonna be so delicious.
yeah, for sure. And I think it'll probably be a bit of a paradigm shift for the franchise. I feel like EPD8 has developed these EPD Tokyo has developed these these sort of 30 games in pairs, right?
Yeah,
We've had Galaxy 1, Galaxy 2, we have 3D Land, 3D World, and we have Odyssey and Donkey Kong Bonanza, where okay, there's a lot of shared DNA, a lot of
yeah,
shared
yeah.
structure and
True.
formatting between those. I'm eager to see the next 3D Mario do something that shifts that paradigm in a different direction. Whether it's let's go back to a more structured linear experience, or maybe just go I don't want to say full open world, but maybe more full Bowser's Fury style.
Yes.
You know. Hey, I guess if they want to make development quicker, if they wanted to give the keys, to be not just EBD8, but they wanted to say, hey, let's have Nintendo, Nintendo software technology take on more of the dev time, because they did a lot of the work on Bowser's Fury alongside them, and also worked very much on the Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2 ports, which, hey, let's not forget, we also just got ports of Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2. Nintendo might be like, okay, we have enough 3D Mario for now, let's hold off. But, like, yeah, if you wanted to, like, shift the dev to another team that has gotten a bit of a test run, but has made some pretty good stuff, and that's like, oh, maybe they're trusted to take on a bit of the banner, or at least as, like, the secondary team, and you wanted to speed it up, it's possible you could give it to Nintendo software technology. Again, I really enjoyed Bowser's Fury. I was really impressed with the directions. That is one scenario where I could see the game coming out maybe a little faster than expected, because they also had Nintendo software technology working on it. That being said, I also don't think we're going to wait that long. I don't know if we're getting it this year. I could see 2027. Give it a little bit of distance, but it's still something that they've been working on. If Nintendo wants to prove me wrong, I mean, go for it. I'll wait.
I see two paths ahead. The first path is the more likely, I think, and that is there is already a lot of Mario content coming in 2026. There's the centerpiece is going to be the movie, obviously. That's like why I think they put the Galaxy games out, why they have Amiibo coming out, stuff like that. So and we also have like tennis coming next month. So I could see them saying we're already doing plenty for Mario this year. We do not need the 3D Mario. So
Yeah.
that I think is the more likely path. Path number two, though, is the more intriguing one.
Okay.
So path number two follows the pattern. Even when there's a Mario adjacent game that comes out early in the title, you still get a pretty quick turnaround of a Mario game not too far after. So like with the Wii, you had like Super Paper Mario early. Then what was it the next year when Galaxy came out? And
Yeah.
then with the GameCube, you had Luigi's Mansion first, then you had Sunshine come a bit later. So you
I
could say
think
if it
with
follows
actually,
that.
I think with now that I'm thinking about it, with that was, I think Super was a 2007 release. Super Paper Mario was 2007 release, and then a few months later was Galaxy. So yeah, even quicker turnaround.
So but yeah, so I think that the only way that we get a Mario a 3D Mario this year, an original 3D Mario, is if it's Super Mario Galaxy 3.
Which would be
And
so
that
cool.
would be
Yes.
that would
It's
be
not gonna
amazing.
happen, gang. It's not
It,
gonna happen.
but
Let
if
go
they,
of the dreams. We're not getting Galaxy 3. Let EPDA do something original,
it
please.
if it happen if one is happening this year though, I think it's like 75% chance it's Galaxy 3 to tie in with like the whole year of Rosalina stuff they're doing. Like I think that would be like the like a crazy surprise cap on the year.
Listen,
Again, I don't think it's what's going to happen, but I think if we were to get one, that's what would happen.
listen. If you want me to change my feelings on Galaxy 3, Nintendo, this is all I gotta do. All I gotta do. Just make it a Rosalina game. Don't put Mario in there at all. Don't even put him in there. Just make it a Rosalina game. Do the exact same mechanics, exact same structure. Don't do anything. Just make it like Rosalina's call it like Rosalina's Galaxy or whatever. That's it. There you go. You will completely change my mind. That's all you need to do. Don't make a Galaxy 3. Don't make a Galaxy 3. Don't make a Galaxy. Oh, next question.
All right. So a question from Sammy J9. You might already be planning to cover this, but what is one each completely wild pie in the sky? No one else would have predicted this in a million years prediction for 2026.
I have one.
Do I have? Go for it.
My wild prediction for 2026 is that I think Beyond Good and Evil 2 is gonna release, and it's gonna be a PvP extraction shooter.
Oh no.
Oh yes,
Oh no.
I like that. I mean, I wouldn't play it, but I like that.
I think yeah, it's gonna happen. It's the one of the, if not the most ill-fated development processes in the history of video games is gonna come to an end at one of the, if not the most tragic conclusions possible, which might happen.
All right.
You're
That's
hurting
mine.
me.
Okay, I have kind of a safe one, and well, not safe, but like, I'll kind of mirror the first question, where I have one that I think is still extremely unlikely, but it's kind of a less exciting prediction, and one that's a more exciting prediction.
Yeah,
So my less exciting prediction is NSO Custom Robo.
that would be cool.
I've wanted it for so long. Please, just make it happen.
Ooh,
But
Volcanic's
I think I may have talked about this on the podcast before, but I've definitely talked about it on Famiboards before. The game I really want that I think would be amazing that Nintendo refuses to make because they can't read my mind is Bowser versus Donkey Kong.
That would be
I
cool.
want that game.
Yeah,
I
that
want
would
you
be
to be
cool.
able to play either as Bowser or as Donkey Kong, depending on who you pick. The other one is the final boss, and you fight your way through either Bowser's Kingdom or DK Island to go beat up the other guy. Yeah. Like I think it would
Ah,
be an amazing game.
Yeah,
so this is what EPD8's been working on.
Yes,
make it like a like the kaiju battles in Bayonetta 3.
absolutely.
Make it
Oh my
like that.
god.
I want Bowser versus Donkey Kong so bad. It's never gonna happen, but I want it so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, but who are you gonna choose?
I would probably choose Donkey Kong first, and then choose Bowser next.
Excellent. I'm gonna cast out this out into the world, even though I know it's not gonna happen. Can we get Kid Icarus Uprising HD with MouseCon controls or something? Please? Sakurai, I know you don't have the time to work on it. I know you don't have the time to make a new game. I know you just released Kirby Air Riders and you're very proud of it and you're not making any DLC for it. Please? Please?
If you had to choose between that and Smash, what would you choose? Which would you choose?
I'm sorry, Kid Icarus Uprising. Wait, hold on, stop. Are we talking about a new Smash title or a Smash Ultimate port?
I mean, this is a whole other discussion, but like I've
If it's a
kind of
port, give me...
almost
Oh, go on.
yeah.
Sorry, you were saying.
I would kind of almost prefer it to be a port. I don't know if we even need to do Smash, but
If it's a port, give me Kid Icarus Uprising HD.
okay.
Yeah.
Just give me a Nintendo Switch 2 patch that give me like a resolution patch for Switch 2 maybe, or a 120 FPS mode. There you go. If you really just do that. Just do that. That's all I need. If you're gonna do Smash Ultimate, just do that. If it's a new Smash game, I mean,
It's Smash.
Pit, I'm sorry. You could be on the roster. It's fine.
All right. Okay, so just to kind of finish off the discussion, any gaming related goals for 2026? Anything you want to accomplish as far as video games go?
I have a statement.
I wanna. You go first, Irene. You go first.
Okay, so not a statement. Okay, that sounded very too dramatic.
Sorry,
Sorry.
what'd you say?
Not a statement. Not a statement.
Okay.
But I
No,
think
it's fine.
yeah. My goal for 2026 is that, like, I see a lot of people having goals in 2026 about tackling the backlog, like, oh, big backlog, tackling the backlog. My goal for 2026 is to keep doing or keep living by like a rule that I've been following for a while, which is that your backlog is a library, it's not a to-do list. So I view my backlog, I say like all of these games I haven't played, all of the game I've barely touched, and to me it's like I'm in no rush to play any of these games just to tick them off and say that, oh, I have tackled the backlog. For me, when I have a vast library of games that I've never touched, it's because they're waiting for their time in the spotlight, waiting for the day where I might just feel like picking up this game, or waiting for the day where I might just pick this one up. I had like this revelation where I bought Metal Gear Solid 5 back in like 2020 or something. I played a little bit of it, was like, oh, pretty good. And then it just sat on my hard drive for years, like completely untouched. And if I were to treat my backlog as a to-do list, I would pick it up and just play through it and maybe enjoy it because it's a good game. But what happened instead was that I just woke up one day, I felt like playing Metal Gear Solid 5. Just woke up and I was like, I want to play this game. So I picked it up, played it, and had a blast because I was in the mood for Metal Gear Solid 5. I wasn't rushing myself to tick it off the backlog list. It was just sitting there untouched for years until the fateful day where I just felt like picking it up, and then I had a great time. And for 2026, I'm gonna continue treating my backlog like a library and not a to-do list because it makes the games that I haven't played yet so much more fun.
That's a really nice way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. As for me, I have two specific games in mind. Well, three specific games in mind that I want to finish in 2026.
Yeah.
Disco Elysium, Hollow Knight's Nintendo Switch 2 port, Silk Song. Those are the three big backlog, quote unquote, games that I want to tackle this year. Beyond that, we're having fun with it. We're going to play what I feel like, as they come out, all that kind of stuff. I don't have too many, this game is my specifically most hyped game of 2026 coming out soon kind of deal yet. I'm vibing. I'm chilling, Again, if EPD wants to change my mind, I mean, you could do that if you want. It's totally possible. But we're taking this we're gonna do a fun year. We got through the Switch 2. We got through Switch 2 launch, all that kind of stuff. That's great. What about you, West?
So as healthy as the statement was about looking at your backlog as like a library and not feeling pressured to it, I view a certain section of my backlog as a demon I need to slay because it has haunted me for too long.
Okay.
This year, I will play through multiple Final Fantasy games.
Okay, nice.
I have bounced off. I have tried many times to play Final Fantasy. I've played the first couple hours of several different Final Fantasies and then just not gone further. But I when they had the big sale recently, I bought the Pixel collection of the first 6 and I want to play through I want to play through all of them, but I at least want to play through the first few this year and just get the specter of Final Fantasy off of me as far as not being able to actually finish one.
So you're gonna be doing 1 through 6. So you're gonna
Yes.
be going on to the so not necessarily moving on to the PlayStation ones.
I actually do have 7 on I bought it on sale a while ago. Just it felt like the game that you're obligated to have as a game enthusiast. But and I actually own a few Final Fantasies. I own even before that I had 7. I have 12. I tried playing 12 and got through it. I have 2 on DS, and a few different ones. But yeah, I my goal would be to play through the SNES/NES games, and then assuming I had the momentum, move on to the PlayStation games up to the modern releases eventually. But yeah, my goal is at least to play through multiple Final Fantasies this year.
I wish you best of luck because it's an amazing series.
It is.
I know. I just haven't been able to get into it.
Maybe we should do a book. Maybe we do a little bit of a game book club where I do 1 through 6 because I've played 1 through 4. I've been meaning to get to 5 and 6. Have not gotten to 5 or 6. Basically, I played 1 through 4 in a big burst in the summer of 25. The summer of 2015 actually. And then I just tried to move on to 5, and it was a lot for me in the moment, and I just didn't keep going. So maybe this will be the year. Maybe this will be the year I finally become I truly become a Final Fantasy fan who's played more than 1 through 4.
I might make a thread on Famiboards just kind of chronicling my I guess newcomer perspective throughout the whole series or something. We'll see. I kind of want to make it a project this year.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
yeah, but that's my 2026 goal.
Yeah.
All right. Any other wrap ups, thoughts, predictions before we close out?
One of my partners has asked a good question. What's your favorite Pikmin? My favorite Pikmin color is the red ones. I like them. They got silly little noses and they resist fire and they're silly.
Mm-hmm.
I like the
Uh,
yellow ones.
Yellow ones are good. That would be their favorite.
Yeah.
I do like the look of the yellow ones. I like their ears, but I would probably have to go with the rock Pikmin. I think
That's a good
They're
choice.
from
they're
two, right?
delightful. They don't have arms. Like I like them.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that will do it for today's episode of the Famiboards Discussion Club.
Yay.
So just wanted to thank my co-host for joining me today,
Thank you.
and and if you want to join in on the conversation, be sure to check out our companion thread on famiboards.com. And that'll be it for today. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.
Bye bye.
Happy Video Games Year of 2026.